see everybody. And as usual, I have a lot of ministers that we send jokes on our email listserv. And this is one of the ones, because actually Dr. Mark and I like to share our jokes. Yes. So most of them are from ministers. And this one is called, let's see, doesn't say, so it's just a lady wrote. We have this great 10-year-old cat named Jack who just recently died. Jack was a great cat, don't be sad. And the kids would carry him around and sit on him and nothing ever bothered him. Sounds like my cat. He used to hang out and nap all day long on the mat in our bathroom. We have 3 kids, and at the time of this story, they were 4, 3, and 1 years old. The middle one is Eli. Eli really loved chapstick. Loved it. He kept asking to use my chapstick and then losing it. Finally, one day I showed him where in the bathroom that I kept my chapstick and explained he could use it whenever he wanted to, but he needed to put it right back in the drawer after he finished because I used it sometimes, several times a day, right? I do too. So that year on Mother's Day, we were having the typical rush around to try to get ready for church with everyone crying and carrying on. Yeah, can you imagine? 4, 3, and 1-year-old? Ah! My 2 boys were fighting over the toy in the cereal box. Do they give those anymore? I don't know. I am trying to nurse my little one at the same time I'm putting on my makeup. Everything is a mess and everyone has long forgotten that this is a wonderful day to honor me and the amazing job that is motherhood. We finally have the older one and the baby loaded in the car, and I'm looking for Eli. I have searched everywhere and finally go into the bathroom. There was Eli. He was applying my chapstick very carefully to Jack's rear end. Eli looked right into my eyes and said, "It was chapped." That's the kitty, okay?
Oh my God.
I know, typical kid. But no, now you have the other image of her. Yeah, anyway. So, it was so great. Well, this week, you know, we had the intention, Barbara Urban has said, I don't even know who said it. Somebody's going to come and look at the prayer wall. Do you know who that is, Roxy? Because I don't know.
Someone called and they said they are passing through our way specifically to come and see our prayer wall.
So, okay, if you can't hear, what she was saying is that someone called the center and said, we are going to want to come see the prayer wall. So after service, you've got to go look what Muriel, Roxy, and Barbara did.
Yay.
But Barbara did a intention. She says, Rev, I just know we have to get it all done. And then Roxy jumped on board, Muriel jumped on board, and it was incredible. And so it's gorgeous out there, and you can see it. So what I did on my part, I just wanted to share this with you because the prayers are intentions, aren't they? So this is a shadow box, and this was Roxy's great idea. Woo! Okay, so I'm going to put it right there. Now, what you don't know is that, and there's an empty one. What you don't know is that I had in my spare bedroom a trash bag, okay, but full. I took one of the biggest full trash bags because when we were up at the Angel store, we were taking prayers down. There must have been, I don't know, what'd she say, 2,000? So layers and layers of dusty, and we kept pulling them off. And finally, she had to get, the owner of the store, had to get about 10 to 15 more people. That's how many prayers were on the wall. We've got them all. And if you don't know that story, we have them all. Susan, Muriel have been putting them on boards. I put some on boards, I think. Roxy, Brian, going,
Brian,
it's much easier this way.
Irene,
I mean, Joanne, I mean, whoever has done it, you know, raise your hand, thank you very much. So what's happened is that, you know, Roxy said, well, get some shower boxes. And I go, okay, well, I'll try it. Anyway, that box can still fit more. Half of the trash bag is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I kept doing, I'm watching TV and getting some inspiration from some of my favorite shows and crying and laughing while I'm putting this on. And while I'm doing that, I randomly pulled prayers out. Now, the gift of intention is that we put something in writing and then we create it to happen. Because if you ever read the book, The Intention Experiment by Lynn McTaggart, have any of you ever read that? Oh my gosh. It's one of the, I call it one of the classic books. She's talking about in her first book, The Field, and I don't think I brought it up, it's sitting down there. I'll go grab it really quick. And this was really her talking about quantum physics, but she was talking about also what Ernest Holmes talks about. And that's really that, you know, there is a field, and we call it the creative medium, we call it, you know, it's the middle part of our symbol as you see it up there. And that's what she calls the field, all right? So she's talking about it, she's talking about quantum physics, but what Ernest Holmes talks about is that as we look at something in a certain way and we set the intention, then we can shift it and change it. And you all know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Because we've all done it. Then we forget about it because Ernest Holmes also talks about how hard it is to change our old habits. And it is, isn't it? Because we have to keep continuing. So my daughter, I think it was a year ago, gave me the 5-minute journal. And in the 5-minute journal, all you do is write down what you're grateful for, what would make today great, and your daily affirmation. And then at night, you write in 3 amazing things that happened today, and how could I have made today even better?
That's perfect.
And I remember, so I've been doing this, and miraculously, things have been happening.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I wrote it down. Duh. So it's everything that we say, because as we write that down and we get out and we change our state, as Tony Robbins says, then we're able to change what's going on in our lives. But we get stuck that, oh, it's a certain way, and it's just the way it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. We kind of started doing that at the center when we didn't have a lot of people. We did. Oh, well, people are, making excuses. Instead, we're going, no, we're not going to do that anymore, because that's not the truth. And we have so many people that come through here, and people are starting to come back, and people are starting to show up. So my intention has been that we have 22 or more people every Sunday at our service, not the Hispanic church's service, okay? Because Roxy said that one time when I said, no, we have our service, center of the heart, our service. So it's really about that, and about setting our intention in such a way that we get caught in what we call the race consciousness. Lynn McTaggart calls it something else, but what she says is that we can get caught in the negativity of what's out there in the world and what's out in the universe. So if we can stop buying into that and start thinking what we desire rather than what is so, even outside, if it looks like it's not appropriate, it's going to work because we set that intention. So before I move on with the prayer wall, here's the ones I pulled out, and I thought you would like this. All right, so one of them is for about, let's see. Oh, okay. For about 3 years in April, 3 years back in April, you have blessed my husband and I with a beautiful wedding, and we can, that we could afford. We were so grateful for that gift from you. Thank you. Our second year was our worst year. I understand that you break us to rebuild us. Lord, please rebuild this marriage. I bought his faith and believe in you again. Our bond is closer, but I would like it to be closer to you. Lord, please bless us with a child. We have been trying for over a year now, and I understand we weren't ready. That's why it didn't happen. But if you think we're ready, please bless us with a boy. I will do my best to have him serve you, lead us, and help my husband to be stress-free, or help me to find a way to keep those stresses away from him. He really needs it so he can be the loving husband that he wants to be. These are the things I ask for the most. I know that you have been there for us because we have always had enough money to get through. Thank you, God. That's one of the prayers. I started crying when I read that. Another one, oh, and then conversely on the dark side, okay, there was one that says, I hate you, God, and he put it on the prayer wall. I picked that one up, put it away, cancel, cancel. So I threw that little energetic vibration away out of our prayer wall. Okay, because that beloved needs a prayer, and I prayed for that individual, because obviously they had stuff going on. Okay, so here it is. Dear God, thank you for giving us this wonderful place, meaning the angel store, to come to. Let's hear it for 20,000 more prayers. That's how many there are. 20,000 prayers. That's what we took on. And then these are just some short ones. Please, God, guide my children to find a path to happiness. And then what was? Oh, dear God, I love you. And let's see, where's another one? Oh, I want my daddy whole a lot because, I'm home a lot because I won't see him in 5 months. Love your daughter that you love so, so, so very much. Isn't that cute? I don't know how old that child was. Okay, then there were a few more. I just kept pulling them out. This is the one. I'll close with this one. God, please have your blessing spread throughout America. We're better than we appear. We want a good change. Thank you.
No.
Wow, right? I just got chills. And there's so many, and when I was down there, there's so many on the prayer wall like this. And there's so many that just touch your hearts. So what I tell people when they're working on them is to just put their hands on the prayers and for them to feel the vibration of all these prayers. Because as we work on them, yeah, they're a little dirty and they got holes in them, some of them, but who cares? It's the vibration. And that's what it's about, isn't it? So with that, I'm going to invite whoever would like to take one of the shadow boxes. I made an intention that Michael's would have them on sale for 50% off in the morning. So we bought some of them. I'm not sure if the sale's still going on, but if any of you would like to purchase a shadow box and pop up to Michael's and get another one, we're probably going to need about five or six more. Let me know, come and tell me, and that would be great. Because I got all the biggest ones they had at the Glendale store. I'm going to pop over and see if you guys can find them over in the Goleta store. That would be great. And I think the sale's still going on. If not, they do it every week. Okay.
How much was it?
It was like, they were like, that one, I think they were like, I'm going to say 60, 65, so half. They were like 30. It was great, and they're beautiful. So if we can get a lot of them, that would be great, because I'm not sure if we can get big enough ones to put the boards in. So that's my intention, and that's what I would like to do. So if you're interested, please, thank you so much. All right, then as I'm watching and doing the prayers and putting them in there and laying them flat, you don't have to tape them so much, you just have to press them flat. I was watching a young man on America's Got Talent. I don't know if any of you watch it or not, but I watch it because it shows me the human spirit, and it shows me that if that child can do it, if that person with a disability can do it, if that person set the intention and they can make it to the live stage at that show, that's incredible. So this young man was, I think he's around 10 or 12, something like that. His name is Luke. And he said, and the parents, they do a little interview. The parents were saying, he's had the intention of being on Broadway since he was a little boy. And so this boy says, yes, and I sing all the time. Even when I'm brushing my teeth, I sing. And I thought, how's he brush his teeth and sing? But that's all right, sing. Anyway, anyway, he was so beautiful. I can't even remember the song he sang. The judges, I'm crying watching this kid. because I see how beautiful his spirit and that he was listening to God and his guidance from his soul, because that came from his heart. So as he's singing, they're just like, and then Julianne Hough is a dancer. If you've seen her, she used to be on Dancing with the Stars. And she comes up and they have what they call a golden buzzer to have them go to the live shows. She presses it and the kid starts crying. He says, "This is my dream. I've always wanted to do this." That's the magic of intention, because this child didn't give up. The other thing that he did in order to prepare his consciousness, which is what we say in our teaching, he was able to get Broadway tickets. And I guess there's a way when you go to New York, you could get a ticket, you know, for less money for, they call it lottery or something. Okay, so he said, "I was always intending to get Broadway tickets for a good price so my parents could take me." And that's what he did as well. So it really does help to prepare and to continue to move like that. Well, one of the intentions that we've been working on it, and Lynn McTaggart says this about what an intention is. Let me find it again. Here it is. She says, if you've ever felt someone watching you, experienced a psychic intuition, focused your mind by meditating, prayed for healing, benefited from taking medicine, and discovered it was a placebo, employed biofeedback therapies, then you probably experienced intention. Intention is a directed thought, a thought aimed at something or someone with the goal of influencing something physical, or we say manifestation. It is using our consciousness to change something in physical reality. Intention manifests itself as electrostatic and magnetic energy. Thoughts are things too. So she wrote The Field. It's called The Field, and it's a lot about quantum physics. So if you're interested in quantum physics, which is science of mind, then she has this. She also has a book called The Intention Experiment. The Intention Experiment was about her bringing groups of people together. If you go to her website, you can be in one of the experiments, okay? One of the experiments, she had a Buddhist monk go and pray over a body of a lake. It was totally polluted. And she said, well, let's see if this is going to work. And he prayed over the lake, and it didn't take him more than, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, because the magic of intention is that he focused his prayer in there. He was praying and meditating. The water is clear now. All right? That was one of the experiments. There were other ones where they were focusing on violence in different areas in different cities. And as they did that, they focused on peace and harmony and a release of all the violence that was going on. And with that, they were able to see how much it dropped in that moment. It was beautiful. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was with the intention is that I've got a dear friend. I'm in a women's group and there's 5 of us. And our beloved sister has been going through cancer for years and years and years. This is what she says. Don't tell anybody. Don't talk about it to anybody. And you want to pray for me and hold the intention of. And we said, what do you want the intention to look like? And she said, I want the intention to look like this. So through all these years, this woman, if she would have listened to the doctors, she'd be gone by now. But she isn't. And she's thriving, and it works. Because she knows that the power of prayer and the power of intention is there to help us. And that's really why we have that, isn't it? So what I wanted to do today is have, and I think if somebody can grab that basket and pass it out, Susan, we're going to do a few intention experiments and find the magic of intention. So the first one I'm going to ask you, and if you don't have to do it, if you feel like you want to be called into an experiment for the center of the heart, I would love that to happen. Because what I have been experimenting with all by myself, we have 22 people or more at the center at 10:30 a.m. I'm upping it now, because now okay, that's working. I'm upping it now. So now I'm worth 30 or more. So now take a Post-it, I know, right? So everybody, if you're willing to do it, now here's the deal. Put it on your bathroom mirror or my car, I drive a lot, my car dash would be great. So if you want to do that, but also take another one for you, okay? If you don't want to do one for the center, I'm cool. We got enough people, all right? And so pick one for yourself too. And what would you like to do for yourself as an experiment, all right? Because for you, in order to believe it and develop the deep trust and faith, that's what we need in order for things to shift in our lives. How many of you feel like, I know there's a God. I know I'm being taken care of. How many of you feel like that? Absolutely fantastic that you're in the right place. And so as we go through different things, we realize as we hit the bumps in life, oh, this is a job for God. I'm surrendering it up. This is not my job to do. God is a doer within that does the work. So I know that. And as I'm stressing and worrying and freaking out about things sometimes, then I go, God, you got to calm me down, okay? Because I'm going a little wacky here. So calm me down, give me the peace, give me what I need in order to move through this situation. And I'm telling you, within a day, if it's really a harsh one, then I get the guidance and the wisdom, and that's the divine speaking to us. It comes through us. And as Lynn was talking about, it comes through us as intuition. It comes through us as an idea. Oh, gee, maybe I'll try that. And that's not your mind. That's how we're being guided and blessed by the divine. That's how we're being guided by our heart. And that's really what it's about. Ernest Holmes talks about in Living the Science of Mind about guiding and leading with your heart. And a lot of times we don't hear him talking so much about love because I think he was just trying to give people this concept and get them to understand it a little bit, okay? So the intention, once you all have a couple of papers, right? Okay, the other thing that you can do, should you choose, you can also declare out to each of us what your intention is, because that gives it volition and power, all right? So the one for the center, should you choose to join into the Center of the Heart experiment, Center of the Heart has 30 plus people at the 10:30 a.m. service. Is that easy? Okay, easy, simple, concise, in the present moment. So your intention is just like we do in the realization section, which is the third part of our prayer treatment. It's the meat of the prayer. It's saying what we desire, because we create what we desire in the very beginning. I'm going to change this in my life, blah, 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 blah. And then in the middle part, we actually put what we want as the new intention, not the current negative situation that's going on, all right? So you want me to say the Center of the Heart one again? Right? Okay. Center of the Heart has 30 plus people at the 10:30 a.m. service. And we all know there's only one 10:30 a.m. service, okay? Yeah. Oh, Darylyn, thank you. Okay, Darylyn, you want to all say it now?
Sure.
Okay, Center of the Heart has 30 plus people at their 10:30 a.m. service. And so it is. Thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
That's awesome. All right, now, what else would you like? What else would you like in your lives? And we'll speak it out and say it with you. All right, because that's the power of intention. All right, we got time for a couple and then we'll go.
I found the intention I wrote last year when we did this. I found it last week. And
Oh!
I'm still using it.
Yay!
I am beautiful, organized, and beautifully organized.
Oh, I remember that one. Okay, so wait, we're gonna say it and we'll repeat it.
I am beautiful,
I am beautiful,
organized,
organized,
and beautifully organized.
and beautifully organized. Gosh, we should do this more than once a year. All right,
Okay.
all right. Okay, one more. Okay, Lily, go.
My yard is blooming and the labyrinth is complete.
Oh, we want want that here too. Okay, so say it, my yard is blooming
And the labyrinth is complete.
and the
And the
labyrinth is complete. And we have our labyrinth here we need to complete, so I'll hold that one with you. Okay, one more intention. Everybody want to speak your word? Roxy.
I own a great running Toyota SUV.
Wait, add one more thing. And it, something about, it came to me like give it to me.
Miraculous ways.
Oh, yes, and it came to me in miraculous ways.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you, Muriel. Okay, so that's beautiful. Okay, anybody else? And I'm gonna close out with the prayer I wrote. We're good? Okay. So as I was going through, and I have books in all kinds of bins and everything, and I'm trying to find my books, and then I found this little folder of all the prayers I've written over the years, and we're going to close with this. So if you want to just listen and be with us. I am a masterpiece of the divine. God is the one supreme intelligence that calls all into being. The creative energy also shapes my life in its image and likeness. I am its beloved in a unique expression of creation. My life demonstrates God's infinite perfection, wholeness, and beauty. As a creator with a divine mind that indwells within me, I am conscious that I am an individual masterpiece. Woo, I like it. Daily I stand back from the canvas of my life and lovingly observe, without judgment, what I am creating. I listen to the gentle urgings of spirit within, which fills me with trust and faith. I am receptive to inspiration, and where I am prompted to make changes and improvements, I do so with an open heart. From the infinite reaches of my consciousness, my compassionate words and loving actions bring light to all of my relationships. I am confident in the inherent perfection of my divinity, and in gratitude, I release this word into the law, which creates the unique work of art, outpicturing as my life. I am thankful for the divine presence that lovingly guides, nurtures, and directs me. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, beloveds.
Okay.